Lesson 27 Sound. Let's begin by looking at the difference between sound and noise. Sometimes the words are interchangeable, but not always. A sound can be pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant, but noise is always either neutral or unpleasant. I woke up to the lovely sound of my wife playing the piano. Pleasant. I could hear the soft sound of the voices in the other room. Neutral. The fighting cats make horrible screeching sounds. Unpleasant. I can't hear you. There's a lot of background noise. Can you call me back? Neutral. My car is making an annoying buzzing noise whenever I turn on the AC. Unpleasant. If a noise or sound is very strong, we can describe it as a loud sound noise. And if it's really intense, then we can describe it as a deafening sound or noise. On the other hand, if we can barely hear it, then it is a faint or soft sound or noise. There is also a muffled sound when it seems that something is blocking the sound. Noise that doesn't stop is called constant or incessant noise. You hear the type of noise if your house is close to the highway. For example, you hear the roar of traffic day and night. If you're working in a factory, then you might hear the hum of machinery all day long. And if you live next door to college students, you probably hear music blaring as they party every night. Nature is full of noises too, such as birds chirping and dogs barking. If you sit near the ocean, you can listen to the waves crashing. When you are in a remote, deserted area, you might hear the wind whistling through the trees. And if there's a storm, you hear the rumble of thunder or be scared by a sudden thunderclap. Now, let's talk about the absence of sound. There's a difference between the words quiet and silent. Quiet means that there is very little noise, whereas silent means there is no noise at all. You can emphasize the totality of the silence by saying that it was absolutely, completely, or perfectly silent. When it begins to be silent, you can say that silence descended or fell. And then when the noise interrupts the silence, it breaks or shatters the silence. It's also common to use collocations to give an emotional tone to the quiet or silence. The kids were ugly or strangely or uncharacteristically quiet. The fact that it's quiet is unusual, not normal. Example: his joke about sex was followed by an awkward or uncomfortable silence. The silence is due to embarrassment. After yelling at her brother, she lapses into a stony or sullen silence. The silence is due to anger. There was a shocked or stunned silence after the president announced his resignation. The silence is due to extreme surprise. The city becomes ominously or eerily quiet after midnight. The quiet is frightening and possibly dangerous.